Hey party people, I'm Kitty. Welcome to my channel, and if you're a returning viewer, you get a gold star today. Congratulations. Today's video, we are going to talk about the transgender athlete in the Olympics, particularly how Ben Shapiro feels about it and how Steven Crowder feels about it, because they both made videos on it, so I'm going to react to those. Before we get started, give me a like and subscribe to fight the turfs. I apologize in advance that you're going to have to hear Ben Shapiro's voice. Okay, this is Shapiro reacts to Olympics' first trans athlete.
This is a dude competing in men's weightlifting competitions as of 2013. After this person was competing as a male in male weightlifting competitions, take some estrogen, and now you can compete with the females. And now we're going to pretend that this is an even playing field. Let me just put it this way to the women, that is wildly unfair. I'll tell you what is an important moment in sport. Apparently, and it is a glorious moment. It is truly incredible. In Olympics, New Zealand weightlifter, okay, and this weightlifter's name is Laurel Hubbard, will become the first transgender athlete to compete at the Olympics. Now, you got to love the language here, okay, because the reality is that so much of our media is dedicated to obscuring actual stories by just changing the verbiage, by just...
Has he said an actual sentence yet so far? Because I feel like that was just a bunch of talking that made no sense. Just talking. Those sure were some words.
Changing the wording. Now, the actual headline should be, if we all spoke English together, the actual headline would be, biological male to become first biological male to compete at the games in women's weightlifting.
What? Why would that be the headline? Super weird.
Right, because that's the story. If the story were just a biological female of any sort of identity competing against other women, everybody would be like, okay, that's not a story. The reason it's a story is...
I can't even understand him. And what is he? He's like...
Because this is a dude, okay? And this dude is a biological male.
This is a dude.
Hubbard will compete in the super heavyweight 87 plus kilogram category. Her selection made possible by an update to qualifying requirements in May. Again, the simple adoption of the pronouns demanded changes the nature of the story, because if you just read that sentence, you'd be like, I don't understand why this is a story. Right? If you just read the first couple of paragraphs, you would not understand what exactly is going on if you spoke English from like 2 years ago.
So we're all dumb.
Right, weightlifter Laurel Hubbard will become the first transgender athlete to compete at the Olympics after being selected by New Zealand for the women's event at the Tokyo Games, a decision set to reignite a debate over inclusion and fairness in sport. Hubbard will compete in that category. Her selection made possible by an update to qualifying requirements in May.
Yeah, this sounds accurate, fair.
Hey, you have to get all the way to the third paragraph before you understand what the hell's going on. The 43-year-old.
What do you mean? Why are you confused?
Will be the oldest lifter at the games, had competed in men's weightlifting competitions before transitioning in 2013. Okay, let me just put it this way to the women, that is wildly unfair.
Bro, 2013. It's been 8 years. In that time, 8 years on estrogen, they really have no advantage over the other women that are competing, because they have the same hormone levels as far as estrogen and testosterone go. Like, they test those before you can compete. That way it's fair, and it is fair. If she's only competing in her weight category and she's competing with women who are the same size as her, that seems fair to me.
This is a dude who is a full dude in every respect and continues to be a full dude, just with either some surgeries or some hormone therapy. But
a full dude
was competing in men's weightlifting competitions as of 2013, which means you had the full bone and muscle development of a man all the way, not just through puberty, but through adulthood, and was competing against dudes in the same category.
I don't know why you keep saying dudes instead of men or something, because, well, okay, I know dude's not like gender inclusive, but it always felt like it to me.
And now we're gonna pretend that this is an even playing field.
Okay, maybe, yeah, their bones are like men's bones, but it doesn't make that much of a difference, other than generally makes you taller and have broader shoulders. She, again, is competing against someone who is in the same weight category as her and probably and they're probably also tall.
And then it makes no difference. Hubbard said, "I am grateful and humbled by the kindness and support that has been given to me by so many New Zealanders." The New Zealand Olympics chief, Karen Smith, said it was a historic moment in sport and for the New Zealand team. She is our first Olympian who has transitioned from male to female, except you can't become a female after being a male. That is not physically possible.
He's so upset, like his face, it's just killing me because he's like...
We do know that there are many questions about fairness of transgender athletes competing in the Olympic Games, but I would like to take this opportunity to remind us all that Laurel has met all of the required criteria. Okay, let's just be fair about this. There are no... Honestly, how many other 43-year-old weightlifters are there in the Olympics?
What does age have to do with this? He's like spazzing right now.
I'd love to see a stat. How many 43-year-old competitors are there in actually physically demanding sports in the Olympics? You see a lot of 43-year-old sprinters in the Olympics? Seem kind of weird? Maybe the reason is because the biology is different here, gang, but you're not allowed to say that. Hubbard has been eligible to compete at the Olympics since 2015, which the IOC issued guidelines allowing any transgender athlete to compete as a woman provided their testosterone levels are below 10 nanomoles per liter for at least 12 months before their first competition. So literally...
So he understands how it works, and then he's just like, nah.
A year and a half after this person was competing as a male in male weightlifting competitions, take some estrogen, and now you can compete with the females. Truly incredible. Some scientists have said the guidelines do little to mitigate the biological advantages of those who have gone through puberty as male. Yeah, you think? Advocates for transgender inclusion argue the process of transition decreases that advantage considerably, and that physical differences between athletes means there is never truly a level playing field. There are broad categories of male and female in human biology and all mammalian biology.
He's just freaking out. He's just spazzing over male and female. Like, he's so like hooked on this, and it's like, dude, there are animals that can change their gender. There's fucking trees that can change their gender. No, change their sex. They change their sex. So trees can do it. Why do you think humans? I just don't get it. Why? Like, why can't people do it?
As it turns out. But, I'm rooting for Hubbard, frankly. I think that I think it's great. I think Hubbard should win. And I think that every male who takes some estrogen should compete in all the female categories. And then we can truly have a more truly diverse and inclusive society. A true meritocracy, if you will. Hubbard's gold medal wins at the 2019 Pacific Games in Samoa, where she topped the podium ahead of Samoa's Commonwealth Games champion, Figega Stowers, triggered outrage in the host nation. Samoa's weightlifting boss said Hubbard's selection for Tokyo would be like letting athletes dope, feared it would cost the small Pacific nation a medal.
Is this sped up?
Yes. Belgian weightlifter Anna van Bellingen said last month allowing Hubbard to compete was unfair for women and like a bad joke. That is correct. But just really, really solid stuff there from the International Olympic Committee. Once again, we have created a hell of a society for ourselves. It is truly...
Look at the Olympic Athlete Committee. They're all old, and many of them are white, and most of the ones who are people of color are not black. There's hardly any black people on it. And we already know they did racist shit with the swimming because they're not allowing the caps that are made for black hair, which is just disgusting. So do we really care what the Olympics Committee has to say? Because I don't. It's Ben Shapiro.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Ben Shapiro Show.
I did not. Oh, God, I hate him so much. Okay, guys, the Louder with Crowder video is already over 10 minutes long, and I know if I react to that one in this video too, no one's gonna watch it because it's gonna be way too long, and I'm going to make that part into a part 2. So today, I'm sorry you had to hear Ben Shapiro's voice, but you can hear Steven Crowder next time, which I'm sorry again, but I think it'll be funny. I hope you enjoyed this, and don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to see more of me and to fight the TERFs, because they're still coming for me. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.